Office of the special prosecutor himself, etimi ene nsɛmtwerɛ for edi enkomo na akwakofa nsɛm bebree na no edi aba ma mene lawyer labi eni enkomo anopai na mene no enkasa ewo we ho lawyer Isaac Minta labi a private legal practitioner na anopai mene no eni enkomo counsel pacho to make a good morning and pom to saying
good morning o nyame ade me hoye na moswe
Eradi adom wode yenso yenkwa ache ya no pay dedika here as say waje ya so and first of all Andra the special prosecutor himself atna say a press conference and Ghana for Edin Komo and raise concerns on issues womo eguso a womo ye investigation edi efri na so ye ho now dedika say we declare say ne Ofori Atta former finance minister fugitive wade ne ho akangura ene womo pedma na beyi nsɛm ano a womo enhu baabi a wafa enkomoy mame entio ewo
yo yechia atiepo me gidi sɛ special prosecutor ewo ho kwan sɛ oba bɛyɛ sade ne bi sɛ wo hɛ ne nsɛm obɛka ya wa pɛso anka obenya former finance minister Ofori Atta na anka baba ono anka sɛ baba na omatoto na no apensem kakra bia fini ho badam se de dika no ono no ama no ne lawyers ne chro letter e de call na sa letter ne dika e de call no no mu kire se bibi no mu hia omo lawyers ne betimi eyi ano but wo mu se unya asem betimi afa lawyer de enso enya lawyer ne bigina daka maka wase mama o na bigina daka na kan wase nti e ba ne investigation na ye hia wa wankasa obekọ ne mo no lawyer betimi no wako se ne be ya questions bi ho na yi bisa ono betimi aboa motimi yi ano kon ya betimi aboa nti e can say you have the right to a lawyer. It doesn't mean say a lawyer be ku jina dakem na waka wase mama wa na beka na lawyer no be boa amotimi aka wase nti na senior omo lawyers e chro de command special prosecutor say omo betimi be yi nsem na no de ama no de gidi say no na ne kwan ya no nti na OSP ho kwan so be reject no e demand say obeba because so what say uni ho our medical attention nti say obi na emra be you as man no ma me nyi say no sa na ko yi sa nti na say ho kwan so bobogu no wan say say obeba nti no achi ansa na fe sa de nkata ba say medical condition no the man next ho kakra omonjimi anya specific as to when obitimi aba but a ban investigation see na say we commit a crime. It's not like say obetimi atina baby na over dictated the pace. Na the investigative institution no mo no eto twen ma mo aba be dictated when you can make yourself available and all of that. And no any jumasa. When you create that kind of impression, you push the investigative authority to begin to use the enormous powers they have against you because the law endows them with a lot of power. To be able to ensure say ban investigation on crimes committed against the state or even any individual, they can proceed to do proper investigations, and where there's enough evidence, they can proceed, to charge you for court. I believe say based on the documents I have seen so far, maybe it's an issue of proper communication or being able to convince the special prosecutor, say you genuinely are out there on medical concerns and not because you want to, abscond from the country with the intention of not returning to answer the charges, that may be suspected against you. So, almost to me, any special prosecutor me nyankita almost to me nyanti as yes, genuinely no, so medical condition bintina won't be my I think say Bema special prosecutor sweat me nyajidi kakra ya mama kakra. But say tries to dictate the pace for the investigative institution there. When you do that, you set them off to trigger their powers against you, and that may not be your best interest.
But many are of the opinion say, the office of the special prosecutor, the warriors say, it is just to win political points. Even though on your political person, but just to tell the government say at least Juma. Now people also question the fact to say na unim say sa nyema nyina wo ho no ma ye to aba wie ye dada besi ene why hasn't steps been taken in ensuring say sa nkomodie nyina no ebetimi akoso, because the presumption is say Ofori Atta has been in the country before his travel.
Well, with respect to the earlier part, which is to say, sir, he's not a politician, but he's doing this, to probably attract some attention to himself and all of that in India. I really cannot speak to that because there's nothing in the man's face that can determine what is in the mind.
Okay.
The OSP is an office set up by our own taxpayers' money. He has a duty to perform. And so, I see it as early days yet. We can give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, let's see how things go. Because if at the end of the day, nothing really comes out of it, then we will have cause to, say some of the things that we are saying. But for now, at least we can give him the benefit of the doubt. There are some discretion under his belly to be able to use and to be able to decide as to when to come out and all of that. And so let's not read anything into it right now. If I'm giving the opportunity to express my view on that, and then let's give you some time and let's see how things go. Because just like my brother, the first deputy speaker of Parliament said, you give a man a very long rope and you end up, hanging himself. And so let's give the special prosecutor some rope, and let's see how far he goes with the rope that is given to him.
But what's here the details of the press conference? Any major issues or boss or issues associated with SML deal, no? Plus a year ambulance EDA, any a year national cathedral. I mean, are these substantial issues abba in the public domain for debate on several occasions? Oshe ambulance yeah, a yura samo loku jeto blakwa and a kofa issues in no edebai. Substantially, Office of the Special Prosecutor no enshedan kan hoshi besi se endra or ye press conference. The GDA no ne trust na Ghana for a wono to see to the end of all these issues. I mean, how do we trust the Office of the Special Prosecutor to deliver this time round?
Like I said, I doubt if Wamba out with the press conference, Anka Imubi Hokra, Anka Ibehu Sebia, he's even investigating them. So what you say, investigations, about openly, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It be a whole more undercover kakra, behind the scenes kakra. Now collecting information. You may even be interview people when they are not even aware, say you are doing actually investigating anything. And you pick a lot of information on the ground, so you put them together, you connect the dots. Then you probably get a fair idea of how you want to proceed. And yes, I can understand some of these things have been in the public domain for a while, and we could have done far better. Well, it's better late than never. So you say no number out. So now say he's working on it. And you see who say he's doing investigation on all these areas. Let us see how far he goes and how he ends it. Because like you said, these are matters of heavy public interest, and we all want to see how it turns out at the end of the day.
Very well. But Council, before I let you go, I mean, Andra, the Attorney General so are reasons for discontinuing a lot of cases by Wafile and Nolly Prosecutor, indicating said there are some of the cases not a work court substantially evidence one table so no enya dia ebetimi aboa no manato akoso a prosecute. Now he also brings in some of the issues that has to do with the personal conduct of the former Attorney General Ora Godfred Yeboah Dame. Concerns he any reasons he justifiable enough to indicate a discontinuation of an ongoing case a work court now?
No prosecutor, a common law right, a common law prerogative that is reserved for the state, and for that matter the Attorney General one who can submit me exercise at any time. Now and the mayor who say sorry so who exercise that right now, even the court obeko akofale sa no lo prosecutor and the judge of the case in this way who can submit say I didn't know yes it's not like there's something that you can just get up and say you want to do it, but it's a right that you have, and if you want to use it, the law allows you to use it. it has been used. I think the Honorable Attorney General Dominic Ayini has why Adam because Memuno or every no semi church maname church in here be intimation and the law allows him to do that. But he has actually come out to explain to us why he has done it, and that I think is a good thing, so that those who don't seem to understand will have a fair idea of why he did it.
Okay.
But going to the substance of those cases, me and I actually case in the you could tell say a lot of those cases in terms of how to be able to get even a conviction would have been difficult because the evidence were not sufficient enough to be able to obtain a conviction against any of the accused persons, because a lot of us were following and even if memos internally the aegis officer advises the prosecution should be terminated because sufficient evidence is available. And so that alone should buttress and to lend credence to the fact that even those of us who were not privy to the full details, our appreciation of the facts and our view say there wasn't sufficient evidence. No, there was some credibility to it. And I think it's the right thing he has done. Prosecution, if you don't do it properly, it turns out to become a persecution. If you don't have evidence or sufficient evidence, because the law, always creates a threshold which you must meet before you move to the next level. If you are unable to meet the threshold, it's not even about whether the person has committed the offense or not, because we are guided by principles of law. One of which is that it is better to set free 1,000 criminals than to jail one innocent person. If you have a proper understanding of this simple principle, who say, so we need enough evidence, let the person go. Don't go and waste everybody's time. And where you don't have enough evidence, the likelihood of you going to jail an innocent person is very high. And so then that also destabilizes society, because when people don't have trust and confidence in the judicial system and the legal process in the country now, it creates a lot of imbalance. It allows people to go ahead and do their own things. Into that principle, as you see it, it really has a lot entailed in it. And where you always, that's why it also comes with the principles of fairness when it comes to litigation. And so, who need sufficient evidence, don't go to court until you gather the evidence. This same principle even applies to even arrest and detention in and to other countries are more advanced to the level where before even a police officer can obtain a bench warrant for the arrest of a suspect or somebody, you have to swear to an affidavit, because a statement that has been made on oath. And if it turns out that the other on oath, then another crime can now be proffered against you, even as a police officer, on perjury. And litigation is not something you just get up and just charge people. You must do that, so we have the whole investigative department. Your duty is to ensure you go out there and collect evidence if they are in. You don't go and manufacture evidence, and you don't go and get people trying to coerce them, to be able to go and fabricate evidence. And no. All those things are not allowed. And so says it, even to the extent that there are memos within the AG's office, they indicate there is no sufficient evidence to support a charge. Case now he has exercised that prerogative that he has as an officer of the state, as an AG, he has entered it. He has no duty to come and explain why he did it. Even the judge sitting on the case cannot even ask him why. But he has done us a lot of favor to come out and explain things to us. He has done a great job, and I thank you for that.
That is to you, legalese, knowing the very technical terms. But I mean, Ghanaians entirely, people are talking about the fact is this is a government more person more fighting corruption with the thriving or the operation of a year the oral. Now there are so many reports team now submitted Ediama president Ediama AG. And I mean, how do you come back to prosecute some other issues? A Bewo oral report in him whilst our discontinue others at the very early stages of the government. How about that? How do you respond to people who have such assertions?
A knowledge prosecutor does not stop the state from coming back to charge you.
Okay.
It doesn't. And you see, at the point where you take the decision to charge, it should be at the point where you've already gathered sufficient evidence that, in your considered opinion, you can prosecute and be able to secure a conviction. That is when you take a decision to go ahead and charge. You don't go ahead and charge and now go to look for evidence to come and support the charge. That is wrong.
Okay.
And if at the time of charging the person you don't have the evidence, it means the charge now will prefer against the person and wrong and improper and unfair and illegal. These are the legal procedures. And if oral now no through the oral process, it means additional evidence which may be at the time the charges were being preferred, we didn't have. Well, luckily it has been discontinued. So it gives us the chance to go back. And then now that we have additional evidence, which combined, put together, gives us sufficient evidence, we can lead to, a possible conviction. Then, of course, like I said, no prosecutor who enter, it doesn't stop the state from coming back to charge you.
Okay.
You can proceed to do a fresh charges and then proceed with the case afresh.
Very well. Counsel, I don't pay my men now. I say I'm highly grateful for your insight.
You're welcome.
Very well. And that is a lawyer Binta Labi speaking to us, private legal practitioner, on the issues of the Office of the Special Prosecutor